That was who this Gordon Grayson was, son of one of the nation's heroes, Benjamin Grayson. Everyone was certain that Gordon would become one of the most important people in the country in the future. Just then, Herod was ready to die. His legs wobbled and he fell to the ground. Bernie did not know what was happening at all and hurried to help his uncle up. "Uncle Herod, what's the matter with you?" Gordon smiled and shook Chase's hand. "I had some free time today and happened to run into one of your men bullying a small cafe owner. I couldn't stand it, so I gave you a call." Chase's expression shifted at once. People like Gordon had very specific ways of talking about things. Even if something big had happened, it would usually be described as vaguely as possible and then handled behind doors so everyone would be able to maintain their pride. Gordon saying something like that pretty much meant that this was a serious matter, and that Chase would be on his bad side if he did not take care of it. No one dared to mess with someone with Gordon's level of authority, let alone go against his words. Chase understood what had happened after that. He smiled, then looked at Herod, who had crumbled on the floor. "What did you do?" Herod did not dare to play dead anymore. He could only pretend to get to his feet shakily, stumbling over to Chase. "Mr. Brigado, it's my fault. One of my men screwed up really badly, but I fired him with immediate effect." "Is that it?" As if Chase was that easy to fool. Things were clearly a lot more serious if Gordon had had to call him. Herod's face was as white as a sheet, stuttering but unable to get a word out. He did not dare to say that Bernie was his nephew, but knew that he would not be able to hide it for long. In a fit of panic, he was at a loss for words. Just then, Wilbur said, "Let me do the talking." "Oh, who's this guy here?" Chase asked Gordon. Gordon replied, "This is Mr. Penn. He's a sworn brother of my father." "What?" Chase gasped. There were probably less than a handful of people who could say they were sworn brothers with Master Grayson. Despite not understanding how Mr. Penn was able to have such a relationship with Master Grayson, Chase understood that this man was truly powerful. "Oh my, it's an honor to meet you." Chase shook Wilbur's hand heartily. "Can you please tell me what happened, so I know what to do?" Chase had a way of speaking as well, and Wilbur understood his intention at once. "This guy, Bernie Dorbrook, works at the Weston District Food Safety Department. He refused to pay for his meal after eating and threatened to get physical with me after I reminded him. He even got his uncle, Mr. Coop here, to come over. Mr. Coop got here and was going to arrest me for assault and hand me over to the authorities. That's pretty much what happened." Chase's expression darkened at once. He hardly cared about Herod or Bernie, if he was being honest. But to have someone working under him humiliate him like this in front of Gordon Grayson and a friend of Benjamin Grayson, he was ready to have these bastards lung. Chase looked at Herod, who looked like he was going to faint any second, and asked, "Is that true?"